I think one thing that I come out of this project with is a very different opinion about Cleveland. I'm just very impressed with the things going on the ground, and impressed with how many interesting and exciting places there are within the city, within the county, within the larger region, that just make this an interesting place to live and to work and to have a vision like this. And I think the next step that's necessary in all of this is to prepare a serious blueprint of the NEO Food Authority and use that blueprint as a way of raising some initial capital. And really, once this authority is up and running, we then have the ability to start financing a bunch of key local food businesses. And once the finance authority is there, the businesses will come. So I am absolutely convinced that if we can solve at least part of this capital problem in the short term, that will unleash an amazing amount of on-the-ground activity. Well, I think at the end of the day, we want to set up 100 food authorities in the NEO region. But to set up even one, we are going to have to work through some interesting legal and institutional questions about what the body should look like, what is the legal basis for it. Is it the same basis as, say, the Port Authority, or is it a different basis? What is the structure of it? Is it profit or nonprofit? What is the degree of official legitimacy? Is it a county creation, or is there just a resolution passed that says, we like what you guys are doing and find your purposes in the public interest? And I think that if we can answer those questions well in one body, other bodies will form. And so in a way, we are doing the work for 100 institutions with the first institution and doing it well and doing it right. Well, I think that were economic development doing its job around the country, having bodies like the NEO Food Authority would be unnecessary. But in the absence of economic development focusing on the right things, we need to develop new kinds of organizations. And I think one of my larger missions is to get economic development to be less based in government and more based in private initiative. And so many of the so-called meta businesses that we talk about in the report, the Oregon marketplace that connects businesses together in B2B transactions, or a local gift card, or a local currency, or a institution that connects businesses to better bid on government contracts. All of these bodies don't have to be government-run programs. They can all be self-financing private businesses. And getting these businesses up and running will prove concept that a lot of authorities, a lot of local governments around the country will pay attention to and say, aha, this is a better, cheaper, more effective way of doing economic development. So my feeling is, if we can do this here with food in a place that people think is hard, I mean, I think in some ways it is hard, and in some ways it's not so hard, given all the work that's happened here, people around the country will pay attention, and they will redefine economic development accordingly.